Ever get that feeling like you're just spinning your wheels, putting in all this effort, but not really getting anywhere?
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling. Busy, 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 but are we actually productive?
Exactly. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. We all want to see those results, right?
Hmm.
But without burning ourselves out in the process.
Absolutely. Who wants to be a burnt out husk? No one.
So how do we find that sweet spot? Well, that's where we're diving into this whole idea of smart laziness,
Okay, smart laziness. I like the sound of that already.
right? We're taking a deep dive into a piece called, well, it's called Smart Laziness, The Secret to Success.
Catchy title.
It is. And hopefully by the end of this, we'll have some seriously actionable strategies that everyone could just take and run with, put into practice right away.
I'm all about that. Actionable stuff, theory's great, but let's get practically.
100%. So the first thing that this piece really hits on is this idea of like ruthless prioritization.
Ruthless, huh? Sounds intense.
It is in a good way, though. It's not about trying to do everything at once. It's about picking that one, like the most important goal.
So we're not talking about making a to-do list a mile long then.
No, no, no. This is about laser focus. The piece even throws out this question. If I could only do one thing today to improve my life, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one. It really makes you think. If you had to pick just one thing.
Right. It forces you to cut through all the noise and get to the heart of what really matters.
I think for a lot of people, even just asking that question would be a huge step. Just to identify that one thing.
I agree. It can be so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day whirlwind. So once you've got that top priority locked in, how do we actually make sure we're putting our energy in the right places?
Okay, well, this is where the 80-20 rule comes in. It's a classic, right? The Pareto principle.
Yeah, but sometimes it feels a bit abstract. Like, how do you actually apply that to your life?
It's about figuring out which 20% of your effort is going to give you 80% of the results.
So not all effort is created equal.
Exactly. Let's say your big goal is, I don't know, to finally launch that side hustle you've been dreaming of.
That's a good one. A lot of people are trying to do that these days.
Right. So instead of trying to do everything at once, build the website, the marketing, create content, network, all of it, think about what one activity will give you the biggest bang for your buck right out of the gate.
So maybe it's like connecting with potential customers, getting that initial feedback.
Exactly. That focused effort might just be that 20% that gets you 80% of the way there, at least initially.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's about being strategic, not just busy. But let's be real. Even if we know our priorities, even if we're focused on those high-impact tasks, motivation can be.
Fickle.
Yes, we're not robots. So how do we stay productive even when we're just not feeling it?
Okay, now that's where the smart laziness really comes in. It's about building systems, setting up workflows that work even when you're not feeling super inspired.
So it's like we're setting ourselves up for success even on those off days.
Exactly. Like think about automating or streamlining the tasks that you do over and over again. That way you free up your mental energy for the stuff that needs more creative juice.
Oh, totally. I'm a big fan of things like time blocking, using tools like Trello to keep track of everything.
Oh yeah, Trello's great. Or Asana. There are tons of tools out there these days. And don't forget good old-fashioned to-do lists. The key is finding what works for you.
Experimentation is key for sure, but even with all the best systems and tools in place, there's another element to smart laziness that I think could be really tough for a lot of people.
Let me guess. Saying no.
You got it. Saying no.
It's so hard, right? We want to be helpful, we want to be agreeable, but saying yes to everything can be a recipe for disaster.
It's a fast track to burnout city.
Exactly. Smart laziness is about being protective of your time and energy. If something's not moving you towards your goals, if it's just adding stress to your life, saying no isn't selfish, it's strategic.
Okay, I'm on board with that, but any tips on actually saying no gracefully? Because sometimes it can feel awkward.
Oh, for sure, it can be super awkward, but honesty and clarity are key. Skip the vague excuses and just be direct but respectful. Like you could say, I really appreciate you thinking of me for this, but my plate's pretty full right now and I wouldn't be able to give this project the attention it deserves.
That's a great way to phrase it. Okay, so we're prioritizing ruthlessly, we're setting up systems, we're saying no when we need to. What other smart, lazy tricks do we have up our sleeves?
Well, the piece talks a lot about this idea of simplifying problem solving. Not overthinking things, going for the most straightforward solution. Sometimes it's not the flashiest, but it gets the job done.
Love that. It's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. If there's a template out there that saves you hours of work, use it. Why struggle when someone else has already figured it out?
Right, it's like the whole don't reinvent the wheel thing. There's so many resources available. Online communities, mentors, a quick Google search.
Seriously, tapping into those existing resources can be a huge time saver. And speaking of saving time, there's another concept from the piece that I think is just brilliant. Proactive laziness.
Okay, that sounds like a contradiction in terms, but I'm intrigued.
I know, right? But it's basically about putting in a little effort up front so you can avoid a ton of work later on. Like, think about meal prepping.
Oh, okay, I get it.
It might take a couple of hours on a Sunday, but then you have your meals ready to go for the whole week. You're front loading that effort.
And you're saving yourself so much time and decision-making energy throughout the week. You know what? This applies to so many things. Creating email templates, automating bill payments.
Exactly. Even just organizing your workspace so everything's easy to find, these little acts of proactive laziness can make a huge difference.
Okay, I'm sold. Proactive laziness, I'm adopting that phrase. But, no matter how organized we are, no matter how efficient we are, I think a lot of us struggle with this need for perfection.
Oh, perfectionism is a real productivity killer.
It is. And the piece talks about how embracing imperfection is actually a key part of smart laziness.
It's about recognizing that good enough is often good enough. It's not about being sloppy, but it's about knowing when to stop, when further effort isn't really going to move the needle.
I love that. It's about finding that balance. And honestly, letting go of perfectionism can be so freeing. It frees up so much mental space.
Absolutely. Less stress, more room for creativity and innovation.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about ruthless prioritization, systems saying no, simplifying problems, proactive laziness, embracing imperfection. Is there anything else we need to add to our smart laziness toolkit?
Well, there's one more thing that the piece emphasizes, and that's the power of collaboration.
We don't have to do it all alone.
Nope. Smart, lazy people are great at leveraging their networks. They know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, and they're not afraid to ask for help.
It's like that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Exactly. So whether you're delegating tasks, brainstorming ideas, or just getting a fresh perspective, teamwork can really amplify your results.
So smart laziness isn't about isolating yourself, it's about building a support system.
Exactly. It's about realizing that we're all in this together. And, at the end of the day, smart laziness isn't about one right way to do things.
It's about finding what works for you.
Exactly. It's about figuring out which strategies and tools best fit your goals and your lifestyle.
So here's a challenge for everyone listening. Think about one area of your life where you can apply one of these smart laziness principles this week.
Maybe it's automating a task, maybe it's saying no to something, maybe it's just giving yourself permission to be good enough.
Start small, see what happens.
You might be surprised at the difference it makes.
Remember, smart laziness is about working smarter, not harder. It's about achieving your goals with intention and, well, a little bit of ease.
And who doesn't want a little more ease in their life?
Until next time, happy diving.
Keep it smart.
And lazy. In the best way possible.
Of course.
See you next time.
Bye-bye. 10 IE.